one unfortunate thing to keep in mind is that unlike the Valentine Mk I, which I believe this has been done so that the vehicle is a little bit lighter, you only have 43mm side armour. That means when you angle, you're kinda angling at your own risk because, yeah, as you can see, 43mm, there's a lot of guns that can actually go right through this. Not a single one of my crewmen died from that. Hey guys, it's Jim here, and welcome back to War Thunder. And oh my goodness, I am really sorry for disappearing from War Thunder for like a month. Yeah, it's actually been a month. And what happened is that the game, as I mentioned in the previous video, the game has just been blacking out and freezing and crashing like nobody's business. And I couldn't really figure out what's the issue. Like, I've done everything. I've verified files, I've reinstalled the game, I cleared out my cache folder, everything. I've done everything. Even updating my drivers and even taking apart my computer and replacing the thermal paste, which needed replacing by the way. But anyway, I still blacked out, I still freeze and crash. So, at this point I really couldn't put my finger as to what exactly is doing this to my computer. It's not overheating, it's not even reaching like 100% CPU or RAM or whatever. I really don't know at this point. So at the moment I've replaced the thermal paste and I've actually resetted my computer. Not reformat, reset. But then again, if the problem actually still persists, then I may have to drop War Thunder for good. Because the last thing I want to do is break my computer. Anyway, that aside, I come back after a month and basically just to test if the game is actually working or not. I decided to play a tank because looking at the calendar, it's the New Year's. It's January. So that means in a month's time, there's this little day every year where you are reminded that you are lonely. And that means that Gaijin is going to put this vehicle back up on sale. And what exactly is this? This is a Soviet Valentine Mk IX. And if you're wondering, what the heck is a British Valentine doing in the hands of a Soviet? Well, apparently the USA isn't the only nation that's doing the whole Lend-Lease thing. The British were also doing it, and they've been shipping Valentines, or different kinds of Valentines, to the Soviets, who actually dislike it because of how slow it was, but the Soviets did like it because it was compact, it was well armored, it was reliable. Then the British keep sending them Valentine tanks. And of course, this includes this vehicle, the Mk IX. And in War Thunder, well, in the past it's definitely a must grab, but now it's more or less just a shadow of what it once was. Let me show you. Now first things first is of course armor. Like the Mk IX on the British Tech 3, you have 60mm upper front plate right here that has no angle whatsoever. Especially in battle rating 3.0, there's a lot of tanks that can actually punch right through this without any issues. However, what you can do is angle. Once you angle, yes, not a lot of guns can actually penetrate this, and at battle rating 3.0, sometimes you do get down tiered. Yeah, nothing is getting through this anytime soon. Now, one unfortunate thing to keep in mind is that unlike the Valentine Mk I, which I believe this has been done so that the vehicle is a little bit lighter, so you can compensate for the bigger gun and thicker armor in some areas, you only have 43mm side armor, unlike the Valentine Mk I. That means when you angle, you're kinda angling at your own risk because, yeah, as you can see, 43mm, there's a lot of guns that can actually go right through this. Panzer IV Long 75, sometimes even the Sherman Short 75mm, and of course the Soviet 76mm APH BC, because you know, Soviet. But the good news is that this is the Soviet Valentine, so that means you will not be seeing those APH BC nearly as much as the Valentine in the British Tech 3. But then of course, like I said, this is basically just a shadow of what it once was, because firstly, the Chinese faction is the thing, and that means yeah, you have this guy right here at 4.0, which you will definitely face because 3.0 does go up to 4.0. And of course, yeah, the Swedish and the APDS. So yeah, that's something you need to keep in mind. But one thing you can do is that if you play hold down in this thing, you have a very strong turret armor. 65mm, especially when you point the gun at the enemy, it's actually sloped around here. Yeah, they're not getting through this anytime soon, no matter what. But unfortunately, the same cannot be said about your turret manlet armor. But hey, it's a turret manlet armor. Nobody shoots this thing. However, keep in mind that players in the know will try to shoot something like this. These curved areas around here. Yeah, if you land your shots right, there's not a lot of armor to go through. And then the mobility on this thing, like the Valentine Mk I, you only go up to 24 kilometers an hour. Unfortunately, even though it has some of the things that's compensating, like thinner side armor and all that. I mean, like, sure, good news is that it does build up speed a lot better than the Mk I, but yeah, you're not getting any faster than 24 kilometers an hour. And of course, moving on the firepower of this thing, this is the 57mm 6-pounder cannon, just like the one in the British Tech Tree. And a battle rating 3.0, yes, the firepower on this thing is just pretty nasty, especially when you get down tiered. And as the 57mm goes, this is the shell that we'll be using, the armor piercing cap ballistic cap shell. That pens up to 122mm of armor, but unfortunately you don't have any explosive mass. So that's something you need to keep in mind. So my advice when using this shell is to basically target only for crewmen. Don't try to go for center mass, don't try to go for ammunition, because they don't detonate nearly as reliably as shells with explosive mass. Oh my goodness. So that's something you need to keep in mind. As well as, sometimes I actually made the mistake as well. You do not have a machine gun in this thing, so yeah, please bring a few high explosive. And then moving on, the other aspects of the gun, you can carry up to 53 rounds of ammunition. I just say bring as many as you want because, as you can see, they're all going to be under the turret no matter how many shells you carry, so yeah, just bring all of them if you like. It's really not going to make a difference if you bring less. Reloading rate, 4.3 seconds. Now I am running expert crew on with maxed out weapon reloading and high level leadership, which is very important for this thing because, as we all know, if you're shooting for crewmen, that means you fire at least 2 shells just to destroy one tank. So yeah, having a fast reload on this thing is definitely welcome. Vertical guidance, -8 gun depression. I'm not exactly sure what happened. The Valentine Mk I had like -15. So yeah, this is something you need to keep in mind. -8 gun depression, I mean, it's not too terrible, it's not too bad, but it could have been better. But I mean, like, hey, in the end, it's still better than most Soviet gun depression. Now getting speed, 14 degrees a second, which is pretty excellent. And finally, no gun stabilizer. And that's something you need to keep in mind because if this thing is actually driving even at top speed at 24 kilometers an hour, and then you stop the tank, the gun does bounce quite a fair bit. And so there you have it. This is the Soviet Valentine Mk IX. And when this thing goes on sale, is it actually worth buying? To be honest though, I'd say just stick to the one in the British Tech Tree. For several reasons. Firstly, like I mentioned, this is basically just a shadow of what it once was. With the new Chinese faction and the Swedish faction, and battle rating 4.0, 3.0 or even less. That has guns that can easily chew right through this, no problem. As well as the gun, I mean the good news is that it doesn't face T-34s, but yeah, your next enemy will be Shermans. And every single faction you see here at least has a Sherman somewhere. And finally, notice that I said sales with quotation marks. You know why? When Gaijin put this thing up for sale, they charged this thing at full price of 1000 golden eagles. At which point I would just say wait for an actual discount and save your money and your golden eagles getting a T126. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about the Valentine Mk IX. Now let's take this thing out to battle, and hopefully I can actually make something out of this. And not a recording of my game constantly crashing. Adios, buddy. Never mind. Come on, come on, come on. Oh shit. Go, done. There's somebody in this hole. Was that the D20 I'm listening to? Yeah, this is on limit. No way! I'm so sorry, buddy. I don't really like to do this. Yeah, I don't like any kills with fire division. It's such a scummy way to kill somebody. heck? Unexpected threat my ass. Come on, Valentine. Run like you mean it. Oh. Crucio. Eh. The fuck are you doing, bro?
Allied forces have captured that zone.
Hello.
Keep the pressure on. Victory is close. Угроза артиллерийского удара.
Maybe it's just me. How did that work? hitting the main guy. There we go.